In this video, I'm going to show you how to move your calendar items from your Google scheduling tool to a CRM. So last week I showed you a video where how to use the Google scheduling tool, which comes here, which is a great tool if you want to have a scheduling tool on your website, just like how I have got one here on my website. All right. Now, when somebody books a meeting, it goes into your calendar, like how I showed you last time. So let's say I'm going to go to November 15th, 9 a.m. I'm going to book something. Let's do a dummy email. I've got one here. Website meeting. So the moment I submit it, it comes to your calendar on 15th October. Sorry, we are in November. So let's go to October 15th. Here, you can see that one has come through. John Wick. Perfect. Now, the problem is that it is going to sit on your calendar, nowhere else. You don't know at the end of the month how many meetings came through. You do not know which of them got cancelled. So there is no sort of accountability. So it's always advisable that your meetings has to go to a CRM. So at the end of the month, at the end of 3 months, you have a list of prospects. You have a list of people who have contacted you. You have a list of who has booked a meeting, who has cancelled and whatnot. Since we are playing with Google's tools, scheduling tool, we can use Google Sheet as a CRM. You can use anything else. You can use Tape app. You can use Notion. You can use any CRMs, whatever it is. In this example, I'm going to show you how to use Google Sheets as your CRM. So every time a meeting happens here in the calendar, we want it to come to this particular sheet, which is a very straightforward sheet. So there's three things here, right? One, the meeting booking. Second, you need an automation tool that will basically grab that booked meeting and then send it to Google Sheet. And then we need the sheets where we will store the information. So you know our CRM, which is Google Sheet. You know the tool, which is Google's scheduling tool. So for the purpose of automation, I'm going to be using make.com. Make.com has a generous 1000 actions tier. So for the free users, low limit users, this is pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and start with creating a scenario. The first thing is a trigger. What is a trigger? When somebody booking a meeting, you want it to come here. That's a trigger, right? So I'm going to go and select for Google Calendar, and we are going to select for watch events, meaning we are going to be watching for events, and then we will select calendar. So our calendar is this one, Nisa BMS. That's my website calendar. But when it comes to using in Make, you always use your primary calendar. That's how Make.com understands it. And then you go select all the events, make the limit as 1, and then save it. Your step 1 is done. This is when do you want the events to come in from now on, all the future events. Perfect. Your step 1 is done. You have grabbed the information. Let's test it. So I'm going to go. So normally what would happen is that you will keep it on. We have to save it first. Okay, scenario was saved. Let's call it, I don't know, GS Google Sheets. Yeah, we'll call it GC to GS, Google Calendar to Google Sheets. I'm gonna call it, I don't know. Yeah, this is good. The step 1 is done, right? Normally you would turn it on. Since you're on a free version, this is going to happen every 15 minutes, meaning it's not instant. When somebody books a meeting, it doesn't automatically come here. In 15 minutes, Google is going to get the information. The Make is going to get information. If you are on a paid plan, it will come down to maybe 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever. But we are going to go with 15 minutes. And since I don't want to wait for 15 minutes, I'm just going to run it manually. So the first thing is, let's go ahead and book a meeting to test it. At 3 p.m., I'm going to test a new booking. We'll use the same email. See, previous one has already come through. We'll use the same email again. And then I'm going to say new website is a reason for the code. All right, we have booked a meeting for another on October 15th. The meeting has come in here. So in 15 minutes, it will go to our make.com. So since I don't want to wait for 15 minutes, I'm just going to run it. So you can see that the meeting has come through. Tom Cruise has booked a meeting. This is the temporary email, and this is the thing. All right, we are getting the data. Now we have to move this data to Google Sheets. So what we do is that you can go ahead and connect your Google Sheets here. And then we are going to be adding a new row. Okay. And then I've already connected my Gmail account, my related Google account. You can do it yourself. And if you want to get stuck somewhere, there are thousands of videos online how to connect your Google to your make.com. Similarly, here as well, you will have to connect your Google account. So that I think you can figure it out. Once that is done, you go ahead and select the sheet that you want to save it on. In my case, I've created a sheet in the YouTube folder in the Google Drive and then called it Google Calendar to CRM. So if you look at this, it's Google Calendar to CRM. That's a sheet name. I've got it. And what is the sheet name here? It's meetings. So let's go ahead and select meetings. Perfect. We got that. Now that we've got this information, all the fields are already coming in here. Now we have to map the data. So created data is here. All right, done. Now the second one is ID. ID comes here. Summary is here. Description is here. Email comes through here in the attendees. So you can see the email. Meeting links, here's the Hangout link. Start timing is here. When does the meeting end? It comes down to here. What is the reason? They don't give it directly. And status is here. Perfect. Save. So I've connected it temporarily. Okay. Then I'm going to do another, or we could just redo the same thing again. I'm going to, instead of running once, I'm going to select the previously ran data to run it again. So let's run it. It ran it. It completed both the modules, which means that now the data has come in here. You can see. So just now you got the data and you can see that the data has come through ID, a meeting with Tom Cruise. And this one is where you see the description is given like this by Google. You've got the email and all those things. Now, few things to note. First one, we don't like the date formatting. We need it in something like this, where it is readable, not this gibberish. And we don't have a name, we don't have a reason, and fix all the date formatting. Now, Google gives description, like basically all the fields in this particular field called description, which we grab it here, right? So what we can do is that instead of using Google, make.com to send individual name and reason, you can use Google Sheet formula to grab the data from this field. So I have ready, sorry, this one. I have got the formulas ready here. So the first thing is that I want to get any data after booked by, and that's the second line, which is the name. So you can use this formula for that. I'll put this formula in the description. It's just a regex extract telling that D, which is the description, row ID of whatever that particular row, anything that comes after booked by, just grab that data. So we get Tom Cruise here. So from here, it extracts Tom Cruise. The next one is a similar formula. Instead of extracting after, so here you see the reason comes after this line, reason for the call, right? So what we are telling here is extract for the D column anything that comes after reason for the call. So it extracts our reason. So both of these are done. The next thing is we have to format. Now we will go back here, go to our Google Sheets, and then first thing is we remove the created at, and I have got the formatting code here. This is how we want the date to be formatted. And then instead of directly putting the created, we will now format and put the created. So instead of sending date like this, it's going to send the date like this. We're going to repeat this process for these two fields as well, start and end field. So instead of doing this, I'm going to put it here, change created to start, repeat that for this end. Good. We have now got the start, we end the date. And in the name and the reason field, like we did it here, we are going to be putting this formula and not the actual data. So this formula is basically Google Sheet formula to extract the information from the description. So we are going to repeat that formula, copy this from here and here. Perfect. We are done with it. Save. Once this is done, now I'll just save it. So I'm going to rerun our current thing, and let's see, now we need to get all the information properly. So let's go ahead, run. We're going to run the previously having data, run once, and you can see that everything has come through properly. So on 14th, today at 4:18 p.m., a meeting was booked. We've got the ID, we've got the summary, we've got this information, and then we extract the, what do you call, the name out of it. Here you see the email is wrong. It is giving me my email ID. No, we want the email ID of the person who is booking. So that information is available in attendees, but in the second item. So first item is about the organizer. The second item is basically the person who has booked the meeting. So what we'll have to do is that we come back here, and here, okay, so it's grabbing the array, so it's grabbing the first item. So instead of that, I'm going to put number 2 here, so it will grab the right data. Save, save. Let's rerun it again, and this time we have got the right data. Whoever is the email ID of the person who has booked. And then we have got the meeting link, we have got the meeting start time 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. We've got reason, and we've got the status. Everything is good. So every 15 minutes this is going to run, and any new booking is going to come through. So we are saving it, and we are done with part 1 of this. And to test it, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to create a new meeting for, let's say, November 5th at 3 p.m. I'm going to say the Wahids. I'm going to use the same temporary email and say reason for the call, talk about SEO service. Perfect. Let's book it. So this is happening on 5th of November. Let's go to 5th of November. We have got the meeting. It is not going to immediately come through. Like I said, we have to wait for 15 minutes. Instead of that, let's just run it once, and you can see that the meeting has been captured. Name is Taha Wahid, same email ID obviously. 5th November, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Status is talk about the SEO service. This is great. Everything is working fantastic. Now, the second part. Now, what happens when somebody changes the time or somebody cancels it? For example, now I have got this one, right? Imagine your user got some meeting, okay, here, and then November 5th, and then he says, okay, I don't want to go for this meeting, and he cancels it. We need that to be updated here, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to go to our make.com scenario. This part is done. We are going to duplicate it and create a new automation. So let's go back, and we are going to clone it, and then we are going to say gc and gs. This time it is for update and delete. Save. We're going to turn it on as well, and then we'll go and edit it. So I'm going to sever the connection here on link. So first thing is, it's not watch by created date. We are going to be watching by updated date. Okay. And we also have to select this one, show the deleted events, because when somebody cancels the appointment, the event is technically deleted. So you want to see that. Save. Done. Step 1 is done. Now the second step is, now somebody is going to make an update, right? So we need to find out what is the ID of that particular meeting. So let's go ahead and test this. I'm going to cancel this appointment. Confirm. I've canceled that appointment. Now let me go ahead and run it. What has happened? The minimum modification time too far ahead in the past. Okay, so what is this? This happens when you try to duplicate the flow. So let's better off delete everything and start from the beginning. We will go ahead and select Google Calendar, watch events, same calendar. We are going to be picking updated event. We are going to show the select deleted items, select all, one, save, and here from now on. This was the error, we duplicated it, so it didn't work well. That is done. Oh, unfortunately, we already cancelled it. So what can I do? Let's go create a new event. Copy the email, paste it. Reason is discuss about marketing, book it. So technically I've booked a meeting. I know it's not an update, but this one will also come through here. Let me run it. We can see that it is coming through. See, okay. And then once we get the information, we are going to add another module, and we are going to go to Google Sheets, and then we are going to look for the particular row, search rows. Okay. Now we need a spreadsheet ID, or I could just search for CRM and it will come through. Perfect, it came through. Sheet name is meetings, and then we are going to get all the column. We need ID is equal to the event ID. We are trying to get this particular item, and we are going to get limit. Maximum number of results is just 1. Save. Now here we have to add a filter, because you see currently I have created an item and it has come through here. Okay, we don't want created items to come through. We only want updated item. Filter out created new items. The new items should go to the other flow. All right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to condition, and I'm going to say created at does not equal to updated. Meaning, if the created and updated are same, for the new items, it will always be same. Then it shouldn't go through next. But for the other items, it will go through and then find the item. Perfect. We are good. Now I'm going to go ahead and then cancel the appointment confirmation. Now this time, if I run it, say it will go through ahead because it checked for the filter. Created and update was not equal. So if you look at the data, created was at 1630, the updated was at 1632. So it's not equal, which means that it is an update. So we are getting the data here. Perfect. Now we have grabbed the data as well. See, we have got the filter and output is 1. Yep, we have got it, right? Spreadsheet ID. Did we get it? Yep, we have got it, I believe. Did we? Did we not? Okay, I don't know. We'll go ahead and then we'll decide what to do with next. So once we have got the item, now we have to go and make an update. So we'll go to Google Sheets. We'll update a row. Okay. And then once again we'll select our sheet, which is from YouTube folder, and then the ID is Google, this one, calendar to CRM, sheet name is meetings, and the row number we can get it from the previous. Here we got the row number, correct. Now what are the normal fields that could be updated? Created, it doesn't need to update. ID doesn't need to change. Summary, no. Description, no. Name, no. Email, no. Mostly what changes is the start and the end time. Sometimes people change start and end timing. And then people might also change the status, which is basically in a mean of which say they'll cancel the meeting. So not from here, sorry. Here, start and timing from the Google Calendar. So let's go ahead and get start, get end, and then get the status. These are the things that might actually change. Once again, we need to put in the formula for the timing. Great. Right. So these are the values that could most likely change. Save it, done. And one other thing we would like to do is sometimes it could happen that the newer items is there. It will get filtered here. It should work basically. Let's just save it. Now I'm going to run it with the previous data. This one, where is a Google Sheet? So you can see that there is an item here. Okay. I don't know what this is. So something is off. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a new meeting. I've saved it, right? Yeah. So we have our previous flow. Duplicate. Let me go ahead and find the previous flow, which is this one, I believe. This one. This is our previous flow where we did for the create. And this is the current flow for the update, right? So I'm going to go create a new event on, let's say, November 13th at 3 p.m. Chris email address. We'll use the same dummy email address here. And then the reason for the call is discuss something. I booked an appointment for 13th November. All right. So let's say I'm going to try to run the update flow. So technically it should not go forward because it's a create item. It did go forward. Yeah, it did get blocked here, but it is trying to run further. So that's the error. We will have to add another filter here saying only if there is a value. So what has happened is that condition. So we are going to go ahead and check for a row ID exists. Save. And if I run it, see now it works fine. So it's looking for an item. It's getting filtered out. This is a new created item and it does not go any further. Created is not equal to updated. Okay. And then if I come down here, it did not come through. Okay. So it doesn't go through the update flow. But if I go run this, it will properly go through. And then it will add here. You can see that a meeting with Chris Pratt has been added. The meeting, the email, everything is good. Now I am going to go ahead and cancel this. Now when I cancel this, an event will be triggered. So if I run this now, it will not go through because it's not a created event. But if I run it here, it will go through and it will go ahead and update it. You can see that the status changed from confirmed to cancelled. So now we have both the systems working pretty fine. So we have got one flow to basically create all the meetings that are happening in your calendar and bring it to this Google Sheet, which acts like your CRM. We've got a second flow, basically watches for updates. And then if it is a cancellation or an updation, it will come and update this particular sheet. This way, your calendar will always be in sync with your CRM, and then at the end of the month, you can do what you need to do with your data. That is pretty much it. Now you have a entire scheduling process, how to use Google's calendar schedule. I'll link that previous video somewhere in the bottom. And now you have, once the calendar invite has come through, you have a way to bring it to your CRM, which is Google Sheets. You can use similar approach to send it to any of your CRM. That is for this video. If you guys have any questions, that drop it in the comments and then I can try to answer you there. Thank you.